a lot of customers actually say that they just don't like looking at the green water, like the pea soup kind of ponds. And ultimately, the only way to combat that is a UV sterilizer. Without it, you're just going to be doing a water change. Even if you do 50%, it's just going to come back, and just the free-floating algae will just generate and generate. So they're eating a lot of the fish waste and the food material that's breaking down in the pond too. So it's almost like a fertilizer for that free-floating algae, and as well as string algae, which is a different story. But UV sterilizers, I wouldn't install a pond without one for sure. The green floating algae is just like it's airborne even around us right now. So when it lands in the water, it just reproduces and reproduces and finds its way. And if it's not being zapped by the UV sterilizer, then you'll just have a pea soup green pond, and you'll wonder why. And you can clean the filter to your heart's content, and it will not get rid of that green water, right? Because it's just free floating, and they're combating for the that's why I like having floating plants actually, like a water hyacinth or a water lettuce. They cover the UV rays from 100% in your pond, of course, when there's no vegetation. So a rule of thumb sometimes is you want about 70% coverage to combat that UV penetration. And the roots of the hyacinth and lettuce, if you noticed, they get quite large, and it's just a big a mat of roots. And this helps with the algae too, because they're combating for the same nutrients in that water column. But the hyacinth is just stealing all the UV from the upper leaves. So the free-floating algae in the pond doesn't get that chance to reproduce as often as it would with 100% UV penetration.
Is the number one thing that causes murkiness or dirty water, is that the algae?
It isn't actually. It's fish waste and lack of filter cleaning. So if the filter isn't adequate for your pond, then it's just going to get gummed up with that fish waste and decomposing food and plant material. And so you'll notice on your filters, they'll get really brown, black, saturated. And what this is all that suspended particulate collected into this mechanical filtration, which is normally foam. And without cleaning that, it's just bypassing that material. And it's just ultimately just you're recirculating water as opposed to actually filtering it.
Would you put a sort of priority on different filtering mechanisms? I know you mentioned the biological, the pads, the UV light. Is one more important than the other, or do you really like to see them all work together?
They actually all work paramount together. The biological catches a lot of the bigger debris, and the surface area is much more vast to collect this stuff as well. And so that's collecting the bigger debris, where the fine polishing is doing the smaller particulate. So that's like the final stage of it. Rotating media beds with columnists or beads, like bead filters, these kind of things, are great filters for when you have a lot of fish load and a lot of organic debris in the pond as well. It'll catch a lot of that. But honestly, that's just for water quality, not exactly clarity. The clarity comes from the mechanical filtration that I've found through the 11 years I've been doing this.
If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you'll get the latest videos as I put them out. And before you go, click on one of the other videos you see down below. I've got lots of tips and different ideas on maintaining and keeping your pond healthy and active. Thanks for watching, guys.